This is the Thompson Cast. I am Mel Thompson. Turkey's ruling party recently held key meetings to lay out policies for the country's next decade. And in a keynote speech, Prime Minister Erdogan said he is still deciding whether or not to seek a new term. A new term would mean stability at the top of Turkey's government and would mean less political risk for foreign direct investment. Erdogan has done everything he can to preserve the general Muslim culture and heritage of the people of Turkey, but also pay very, very strict adherence to the fact that religion should not be interfering with the politics of a country. Turkey is one of these countries where the military for many, many decades kept power to prevent Islamists from taking power. Now you've got a transition that's happened quite successfully over a period of time where Muslim politicians have worked hand in hand with more secular politicians, and Turkey has been a beneficiary of this. Any changes that would interject religion or anything that is completely intangible, such as religion, into the inner workings of foreign direct investment, trade, or foreign policy in general in Turkey would be a real political risk. Now, the fact that we have an ally in Turkey in a very, very volatile region means that eventually stability will return no matter what happens on the ground in the next few months. As I've said previously, I honestly believe at some point Israel is going to take some degree of action against Iran. This is going to cause some problems that I believe are going to be short term. It's not going to last forever. However, the stability that you have in Turkey means that there's always going to be some light at the end of the tunnel. In other words, there's always going to be some adult on the block to try to keep and maintain order. The only wild card is the long-term impact of what Syria will be like after Assad leaves. And I'm going to hedge my bets and say if he ever leaves at this point. I said quite some time ago that he wasn't going to go quietly. He's proven that. And who knows? Who knows at this point? However, the number one issue that I'm trying to focus on in this particular podcast is the fact that Turkey is a beacon of stability in the Middle East. It will continue to be a beacon of stability. I feel it's a country that you can rely on as a foreign direct investor. And I have really no reason to believe that another term by Prime Minister Erdogan would be of any detriment to foreign direct investment. In fact, I believe that the stability that it would provide would not only make markets more secure and make them feel more secure, I think that the long-term prospects of foreign direct investors would be very, very good. Turkey is also one of these nations that is going to find itself in a position where it is going to have to take some degree of sides in any situation that involves the United States and Iran. And I don't know exactly what you would call a face-saving maneuver, but I do believe that Turkey is going to do everything it can to avoid any type of embarrassment, any type of actions that would make it appear to be lackeys of the U.S., or any type of actions that would make it appear to be adherent to some of the less reasonable policies of the Iranian government. I think that if we still want to look at the Middle East as a microcosm of problems generally between cultures where religion is a main issue, I still think that is probably a good way to examine that particular issue. But overall, long term, the Middle East is just a place where you need stability from one side or another, or at least somebody in the middle that is trying to make sure that all sides work together in harmony as much as possible. I do believe that the Israelis have an absolute right to defend themselves. They have a clear cut case against the Iranians when it comes to the nuclear weapons. This is a great concern to everybody in the region, and I do believe that Turkey will play a key and pivotal role in tamping down problems long term. I don't believe anything they can possibly do would stop an Israeli attack on the Iranians, but I do believe that long term, one of the better places to look to for foreign direct investment and stability is Turkey. And I also believe that this is bolstered by the potential for Prime Minister Erdogan to seek another term and possibly be reelected. This has been a Thompson Cast. I am Mel Thompson.